coming through. This is going to look quite bad, I think, because it won't really have the frame rate. I can promise you it looks smooth on my screen. But yeah, so this is just a wrap binary C. It's written in Unity, which is nominally a game engine, but it's written in C# and it sort of interfaces pretty well. It's still a work in progress, so we haven't actually released anything yet. And so this is just an interface in which you can select masses of binaries and stuff like the orbital period and the eccentricity. And then when you hit simulate, it will run binary C in the background and animate it with lots of extraneous info that you can show and hide as you please. And so we use this for outreach events, both here in Guildford and in Cambridge as well. And I think maybe there might be, is there anyone else using this?
I don't know, but we have a poster.
Yes, there's a poster in the other building.
In the BB building next door. So.
I showed these two videos last year in a country that I should not mention I went to on recording.
Yeah, so I think there's possibly scope to add this to the Git project.
Yeah.
The problem is it's with Unity, it's all the standalone stuff, and it will be, I don't know if we're trying to limit the size of the Git repo.
Oh, we can put it in a separate one. That's not
yeah. Yes, I think it should be in a separate one.
So we can do that. It's no problem at all.
So if people want to go in and edit it, there's a bit of background work to do. You know, you have to install and download Unity and work out how to actually use it and edit scripts and recompile stuff. But I guess it should be fairly suitable for Git generally. Yeah, the language is C#, so it's not too dissimilar. It's
probably relatively easy to change things. So just like hacking the code is probably quite easy.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. So nominally, in the past I've ended up rewriting most of this every March because that's when our open day is in Cambridge. I'm not sure that's going to happen this March. I mean, I guess if it does happen, something's either gone very right or very wrong. But I'm wondering maybe afterwards then I'll have some time to rework this and get it into more sort of release suitable format. Yeah, that's definitely something I'd like to do. Whenever I show this, people always ask if there's a way they can download it and play with it. So that would be really nice as well, I think. And if anyone has general suggestions for things that should be improved or added to this, then yeah, I'm very open to hearing those. But again, I probably won't be working on it for a while.
That's fine. I think it's already great.
That's very cool.
To find a way to put it on the screen, aren't there? Just take it over.
Oh, we can, yeah.
So if I create a GitLab repo for this, you just upload it. And
yeah.
Okay. I'll do that.
I'm thinking.
This is really, really cool. I just wanted to say that. So showed some of the first efforts to me when he was in Heidelberg, and I already liked it a lot there. So I just wanted to say this.
Can we put some Hubble pictures in as a background?
Yeah, I don't know if there'll be licensing issues, but yeah.
Oh, no, Hubble, no. I mean, you can use
Okay.
Hubble pictures for whatever you like. So that's why ESO and Hubble are both, I think, free for educational use. That's what it is.
Oh, nice. This looks way better than the version that we are using.
That is so.
Yeah.
Back in time?
Especially if I can see it on your laptop screen.
Yes, you can see the nice smooth motion. It looks a bit better.
Yeah. Wow.
It looks good on the big screen as well. I think it looks great.
Oh, because of the sampling, it looks like it goes back and forth.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I want to add to this. I would like better supernovae and planetary nebula animations, and that does look a bit silly when it's not quite resolving the orbital.
Well, that's cool. You could ask Fabian to do a load of 3D hydro simulations of planetary nebulae for you and just put them in. Take you 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, 5 minutes.
Ah, bloody Arepo. I heard it was quick. Okay. Okay. Do we have any questions on this before we go on? Because
No, not really. I was thinking in a different way to start this with some more input options, but I think it might be a bit of an overkill for something that's more of like a demonstration. In general, how it would work.
It's pretty trivial to add options. That's
Okay.
honestly, yeah. So that's probably something you could just do by looking at the Unity. And the nice thing about Unity is there are a ton of tutorials online for it. So.
Yeah. So I mentioned other software. I mean, Window to the Stars now has a binary C module, so you can run binary C in that, it's our user interface to stellar evolution codes. So that works very well with that. And it now does multiple layers as well, so you can evolve hundreds of stars at once if you want. And you can overplot all the Western-Russell diagrams, that kind of thing. So that also works. I've got someone working on a school project for that at the moment, so it's sort of a bit of outreach.
Is that Raoul?
Raoul, yeah. So that's pretty neat. In terms of software as well, one other good thing is once we have our own library for stellar evolution, we don't need to we could package binary C with that and not with BSE.
Sure.
Now the good thing about that is that we then own the copyright, because as long as it has BSE in it, we don't own the copyright. It belongs to us and also Chris Tout and Jared Hurley and co. Once we get rid of BSE, we can just do it ourselves, and then I can package it for anybody's code, and they can. We can make it publicly available. One of the reasons we can't make it publicly available is because of that. So we can't put it in Universe Sandbox and things like that. So
that would be so awesome.
They wanted to do it years ago, but but Chris and Jared and co would not allow us to do it.
Oh, shame. Okay, Joe.
So
nice.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons that it would be great to do this. So it's a long way off, but once we're there with that, so that'll be great. And if you have any other suggestions, software-wise, that you think are good, then
yeah, I mentioned this on Monday already. I think it might be interesting to design like a software development kit, just like a pre-designed set of software that is necessary for binary C to be installed, so that you just install that thing, put an environment path to it.
Did you look at the Docker file?
No, not yet.
So that's got everything you need, at least in terms of Linux. So
I think it's useful for people that are on different machines and just one pre-designed set. We know that the code runs with these versions of GCC and etc. And then that should probably resolve some of the issues that people have with installing binary C.
I mean, the good thing is the new Maison installer checks its own version and checks the Ninja version, so they have to be appropriate.
Sure. Okay.
And as far as I know, there's no problem with any GCC except, was it 4.something? 6?
That's a really old one.
Which is already pretty old, but that has an internal bug in the compiler, which is why I don't allow it to be compiled with that.
Oh yeah, sure.
But pretty much anything that's even vaguely new in the last few years should work just fine. One thing that I haven't done is try to make it build on Intel's compiler recently. And so if anyone knows ICC well, there's a bit of a challenge for you. It runs faster on Intel, it's like 20% faster. So for free, you get 20% boost. Of course, you have to pay for the compiler. Well, nominally, you're supposed to. There are ways to get it for free. If you say it's non-commercial academic use, you might be able to get it for free. I'm not sure. I haven't checked the license recently.
But bigger cluster machines occasionally have these licenses.
That's right. Yeah. Exactly. So if anyone feels like debugging it for Intel, that would be great.
I have access.
That would be great if you could try it. Most of it should just compile fine, but there's always little tweaks.
I want to run it on the rack anyway, so I just install it.
That should be easy. But I mean, it compiles fine with GCC and Clang, but I don't know about Intel. So. It used to run on other things, like Sun used to have a compiler as well. You used to run that with no problem, so it should be okay. So, I think one of the issues might be all the GCC extension stuff I put in, which works great with GCC and Clang because they both support it, but Intel won't.
Right.
Most of that shouldn't build on Intel. It's fine, but maybe there are alternatives we can use.
Good job.
A bit of technical stuff.